Hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining me and clicking on this video to hang out with me for a few moments as we go over how to get your books in the school system and in your local schools in your area. I am Desiree Lee. I am the author and founder of Authors in Business Co., which we are a community of authors from all over the world coming together, moving together as one, and no author is left behind. I'm also a live stream influencer on platforms such as Periscope, also on Facebook Live too as well, and I have a channel on Instagram, so please feel free to follow me there and to keep up with the new tips and tricks and hacks that we are going to provide for you. I would love to engage and hear from you, so please do not hesitate or feel shy to put your questions inside of the comments. You can definitely chat with me while I'm here live and or after maybe you are viewing this. Oh, it is pretty cool, isn't it? Maybe you're viewing this after I'm going live. I will definitely respond to your comments as well, okay? So I'm excited to see each and every one of you guys here on YouTube. I'm seeing all of my Periscopers, my Perry friends is what I call them, and also all of my friends on different platforms. Now, please give me a little grace period because I don't know if I'm looking awkward on the camera, because the camera is in landscape, of course. So I will definitely work out the kinks and make sure I'm providing you guys with the best experience possible. Please do me a favor. You guys can still share this video out. You can share this video out on Twitter, on Facebook, and other various platforms too as well. If you have any friends, maybe your friends that you hang with, you can definitely copy the link and send them the link for them to join us live as well in this video. Okay, we got over the preliminaries. I got all the jitters out. I'm okay with messing up. Thank you so much. I'm okay with all that. We got all that out. Let's get to why you are here. And you are here because maybe you heard on Periscope a few pointers that I have given in regards to getting your books in the schools. I'm going to start off first with telling you how I came about it and then sharing the steps on how you can do it yourself. I remember asking, as a new author publishing my first book, I remember asking people, how do I even speak at schools? How do I get my books in schools and different things like that? And it was a lot of runaround and a lot of red tape that you had to cross over. And I was like, oh my gosh, this seems like it's so difficult, but I see the math book over there and I see To Kill a Mockingbird over there. And so how do I get my book there too as well? And this guy who purchased the books every school year for the school system, for that specific school, he says that your book has to be instructional material. So some of you guys are hearing that term, instructional material, for the very first time. This might be your first time of hearing that. So it's like, how do I create, or how do I transform my book, my story that I have, into instructional material? And it's very simple on how to do that. It's just creating either a workbook or including a workbook within the book that you have already published. He said that you don't have to have all these elaborate questions in there. You just have to have at least 5, maybe 10 or more questions in there, so it can be more interactive. The school itself will not purchase a book, or the individual or the principal. They have a liaison, a person there on staff that budgets the money for the whole entire school system. You have the superintendent, those who are over a certain district, and then you have the individual liaisons who are over the school budget in there, and they purchase the books for the whole entire school year or upcoming school year, okay? Now, the funding of what they're budgeting is called Title I funding, which is government funding. So they can't spend the money. I know if you from Atlanta, if you heard it, this big scam about they're misusing those funds. So they really have to go buy the book step by step by step when purchasing and spending their yearly budget. Now, with this budget, the reason why they can't just up and buy your book just because they like you or it's inspirational or whatever the case may be, is because it's harder to explain to the government. If they misuse it, then the school course shut down. If they don't spend all the money, the great news for you, if they don't spend all of the money, then they don't get funded again for the following year. So your book can be that part where they can deliver those funds by purchasing your book. Okay. They do their school budget when the school is out. I know here on the east side in Atlanta, Georgia, school usually ends in the month of May. However, they begin their budget for the next, preparing for the school's budget, April, May, June, and then it's a done deal. They already spent the money in regards to prom, homecoming, speakers, books, materials, new computers if they needed it, a new books for the other students there too as well. And so that's where they use that funding. They already used their funding for. So if you are planning right now, you're in a good position to plan for when it's time for them to go over the budget and decide what are they going to use the monies for. Okay. So make sure that you publish a workbook with your actual book, and it will make it easier for you to get in the school system. The time for you to inquire or to position yourself and send your ideas, your books and everything to the school system is to talk to the person who handles the budget for that actual school. Now, think about it. If we're talking about book sales, I know when I shared before a few years back on how many sales I made as a self-published author my first year, and it was 20,000+ copies of my book, and I'm very proud of that. But a lot of people are asking me, like, how in the world did you do it? 20,000 seems like such a big number. But if you just sit there on the other side of the screen and think about it for a second, how many middle schools are just in your radius? I'm not talking about the whole county of where you live. I'm not talking about the whole entire state. I'm just talking about in the radius where your grocery store and where you travel, 10-mile radius from where you live. Now just imagine how many 8th graders are at that middle school. Then imagine how many 7th graders, 6th graders, and you can actually Google this information. And then you'll see how easy it is to scale. You're supposed to start small, dream big, and scale fast. That is definitely the formula. So what do you need to do on how to get your books in the school system? First, if you don't have a book published already, make sure you publish a book, okay? 2, decide if you're going to have the questions inside the book, or you're going to make a second book that has the questions in a second book and instructional material. The third thing is timing. Your timing has to be perfect. So what I would suggest is that you either volunteer to go speak at a school around January, around the months of, if it's 2018, you're preparing for the 2018-2019 school year, then you will start showing your face and showing that book and basically create the demand. Just create the demand. And then they will ask you, oh, we would love to get copies of your books. How do we get copies of your books? You're like, I would love for this to be in the school. Who do I speak to? And then guess what? Social proof validation. Somebody else is introducing you, and you're not trying to do cold call or code introductions to get your books in the school system. Okay. And then once you do all of that, once one school gets it, then it's easier to get an easier yes in all the other schools that are in your local area. And you just do that over and over and over again. And then once I did that, my name was buzzing. here in Atlanta, Georgia, and everything was going and it was buzzing, everything was great, then guess what, guys? I got a government contract, okay? To where now I get paid from, a partnership. I get paid from the United States Attorney's Office to go talk about prison prevention and my book, and to share my book that way too as well. And so it's all strategic, and it's all, set up, a system systematically. And when you're in business, even a small business, I don't care if it's a restaurant or if you're selling lemonade on a corner, you definitely have to plan this whole thing out and know which victory or which thing that you overcame that will lead you to the next leg of your journey as a self-published author. Now, of course, it's different in every state, but if you can definitely establish that relationship and show proven results, it's easier for you to get into any school. Once they see the kids love it and you're creating this demand, not with the officials, you create the demand with the young people. That's important. The young people are going to be your voice. The young people are going to share your stuff out. The young people are going to call your name. And when the teachers, the officials, the parents see that result for themselves from a parent's perspective, from a more mature and an adult level, then it's more easier for you to get in the school system. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'm here live. So if you're watching this after we're finished with this video, please feel free to comment below, like, and share this out with your friends too as well, okay? A bonus that I want to give you, if you are speaking at a school, I suggest, here's a bonus, I suggest that you create a 11 by 17 flyer of your book cover. So you have your book here, okay? And then you just make it kind of like a poster format. And you can go to Kinko's, you can go to Office Max, you can go to Staples, you can go to any, or the UPS, UPS store or whatever, and print out 11 by 17. What happens is, you put the poster on the front door to let people know that you're coming. Maybe you're doing a reading, maybe you're doing a speaking, or maybe you're just giving away or doing community service. Even if you're going with a group of people or somebody invited you, have those with you. Either go a day before, a week before, and put that on the front door. Ask them if you could tape it up on the front door. Go to your local barbershops and hair salons too as well to ask them if you can put that on their window. What that does, it brings about social proof and celebrity validation. Celebrity validation is having, creating this influence, or if you want to call it influential validation, around your town or where the event is going to be held, okay? What that does is people are able to see you. So even if they're not allowed in the school to hear you speak, they're going to search you, they're going to find you because maybe they know somebody that knows somebody that goes to that school. What does it all end up being at the end is this: when you're building your brand, or I should say your influence or your celebrity validation, it's not trying so hard to be this big fish in this big pond. Now, their fishbowl and their fishbowl and that lake or that ocean, it looks so enticing. It really does. And you may want to dive into that space, and you are a big fish in your own right. But the way you can really scale really fast is being a big fish in a small pond. Now, if you were like me, I went through 6 years of rejection of my life and heard no. I remember trying so hard and asking people's help, and everybody said no. And then I thought maybe I had to move to another state. Maybe I had to get some new software. Maybe I had to do something, just out of the extraordinary to just really get the momentum going. And my mentor told me the same thing I'm telling you now. And he said, Be a big fish in a small pond, and it's okay to be yourself. So what I did was I started small. I started small. And when you start small, then it just keeps going and going and going like a snowball. But what you don't want to do with your snowball is just let it stay right there, because then it will definitely melt. So you have to keep it rolling, but you can start right around your neighborhood. You can start right around your local churches. You can start right around your local bookstores, okay? And then what happens is it catches on like wildfire, and it goes. Think about the videos that go viral. Did they go on a TV network to do the video? No. Did they go, had a big scenery, in the background and all that? No. Did they do something just so extravagant? No. They were just themselves with their phones in this moment, and they captured it, and everybody absolutely loved it. And so I strongly recommend that you guys do the same thing too as well. Before I leave, I do want to let you guys know this book that I've been holding up, Author Hacks, Publish Your Book on a Shoestring Budget. This is Author Hacks, Publish Your Book on a Shoestring Budget. It's free this weekend. I strongly suggest that you go purchase it. It is on the top 10 bestseller list. I am so excited to announce that with all of my viewers today on all these awesome social media platforms. So go ahead and download it. It has clickable links in there that you can definitely use to help you thrive. Okay, so I will see you guys soon. I will be on here more often. Thank you guys for taking 20 minutes out of your day to hang out with me. I would love to hear your results. It doesn't make any sense of good content and you guys are not actually applying it, right? So I definitely want to hear your results. So leave them in the comments, or you can reach me on my website at dleeinspires.com. And if you're looking to join a group, I encourage you to join AIB Nation. Thank you guys so much. I love you. I believe in you, and you will change the world.